So just that stretch of the first half where you got out in transition a little bit, had the dunk, had the three, just how important was that in the big picture of this game?
Yeah, I think it was important. I mean, I think it, obviously I've talked about it a lot, but our fans are a huge part to our success. And, Coach Painter always says give them something to cheer for. And, obviously when you can kind of have a stretch with an alley-oop and then a three, forces them to call timeout and get the crowd involved. I think that's a pretty big stretch throughout the game.
That's the advantage you guys can have playing small, right? And that's kind of small ball winning right there.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, the ability to just kind of space the floor out and have a two-man game with Braden and TK and, just kind of let them go to work and, surround them with four shooters is tough to guard.
What are your cues when you got to sprint the floor? Is it a turnover? Is it seeing Braden turn up the floor?
It's supposed to be every time. I'm not sure I always do it every time, and that's kind of, I see it on film every once in a while, but, Coach Painter emphasizes that, every time a shot goes up and we secure a rebound, sprint to the corner, sprint to the rim, kind of, whatever the case may be on that.
Can the fast break be a bigger weapon than it's been so far this season? Like today, it seems like it was the first hint of it being this much of a weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my first alley-oop dunk of the year, and obviously, at this point last year I had quite a few, and we got out in transition quite a bit last year. So, I think that they can definitely be, a way for us to, put another aspect of our offense on opponents. Obviously, when we get out in transition, we have athletes on the wings and guys that can go up and catch alley-oops. It makes it a lot harder than just, guarding a set offense in the half court.
Did you set a preseason goal on those? How many alley-oops?
No, I didn't. Me and Braden. We never really talk about it, but he always says, if you go, I'm gonna throw it. So obviously he threw it in the first half, we connected on one, and then in the second half, I'll take the blame for the turnover. I mean, obviously he threw it, but I love the aggression, and we're gonna connect on a lot of ways.
It seemed like a game where you guys fed off a lot of things defensively, just because the game plan worked, right? Just backing inside, making him shoot.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously we kind of focused. They made 25 threes on the year before coming in. And it's really just paying attention to personnel and our scout and kind of knowing their plays and how we're going to defend it.
Just with your threes, after the second game of the year or whatever, I think you turned down some shots. And Painter, did he talk to you about don't turn down shots? Because he talked to us about it. And I didn't know if
he never talked to me about that. I just think that's kind of one of those things where he knows that I need to shoot the ball, and I think we both kind of knew that. And I'm pretty sure everybody was able to see that I turned down some shots that I should have been shooting.
When you hear your coach say "don't not shoot," does that give you a little bit of extra hop in your step or whatever? Because ever since then, it's been
I mean, anytime he's never going to tell us not to shoot, unless it's a bad shot. But obviously, open threes, he wants us to shoot them. He doesn't care how many we miss. The guys that he lets shoot threes, if they're open, he wants them to shoot every single time.
Just the rebounding effort in the second half there was pretty intense. Just is that something where you guys are just really dialing in on that and just really playing hard?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that we have to emphasize. When you go with that small ball lineup, obviously we have four guys that are under 6'7", and then TK 6'9". So we can use our athleticism to get rebounds with me, Miles, TK out there, and then obviously Braden and Fletcher, be kind of getting in there and scrapping for loose balls or whatever it is. So we really just got to emphasize the rebounding when we go with that small ball lineup.
Was much made of this game compared to last year, or is so much changed that there's no comparison?
In terms of what?
Seeing these guys last year, comparing this year to last year, so much changed that it's just not even close?
They kind of run a lot of the similar sets that they ran last year. So we were kind of able to scout them the same, but obviously their personnel is quite a bit different. Obviously they have good players this year and they have good players last year, but it's just kind of dispersed throughout where the ball goes most of the time. So obviously they had DJ Burns last year and they gave him the ball quite a bit in the inside, and we kind of had a different game plan for that. But a lot of the stuff that they run was the same stuff they ran last year, so it was essentially the same scouting.